right. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's been 3 weeks. Hey, welcome, Terry. Um, it's been what, 3 weeks? You were off doing some picture taking or something last week. No, it was the
Opening day for the
Cardinals
Cardinals.
opening day. How did that go?
It was great. Got JJ Weatherholt's first home run in his first game. It was a crazy game. I think it was the sixth inning. The Cardinals gave up 6 runs, and they looked like they were just about to crap the bed. Looked awful. And then they came out and scored 8 runs. And there was something like 36 hits in this game. Like nobody could really pitch, but it was a fun time. And St. Louis crowd was fun. It was good weather, packed house. Got to see the Clydesdales come around for the opening day ceremony at the beginning, and it was really, really cool.
Yeah, I took Xavier to a Brewer game the other night, Monday night. So it was the fourth game of the year. Of course, it was their first loss of the year.
Ooh.
They swept the White Sox, which isn't saying much. Then they lost to Tampa Bay. They beat them last night, so they're 4-1. They got the rubber match today. But the Brewers they're looking okay so far for not having Churio in the lineup.
Yeah. I had like a couple weeks before that, I had opening day for the Kansas City Current. So I've hit 2 opening days in 1 month. So I've quite an experience there. It was real fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Card, what's that?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, card wise, we start off with a little bit of grading news. So many of you, I was talking to Bo before we went live. You heard me say that back, about 12, 13 weeks ago, I decided to do an experiment where I was going to use my local GameStop and then send cards in through my PSA order myself using the one order with the higher level to see if I could beat GameStop's turnaround times, or if GameStop would beat me. And the results came back that I got my order back in 11 weeks, and the GameStop order came back in 13 weeks. Talking to the manager at the local GameStop, he said that 12 to 14 weeks is about the turnaround times that he's been seeing the last couple of months. And I've been seeing that 10 to 12 week turnaround for my bulk orders for my personal, using the trick where you send multiple submissions in together and you have a much higher tier level. I usually send one or multiple cards in regular service at the $80 level, and your cards get checked in quicker. And once the cards are checked in, of course, the clock starts. Been very fortunate to have the PSA orders coming back much, much quicker than what they are saying for an estimated turnaround time. However, I have not been fortunate enough to get very great grades. I've been running about 75% PSA 9s on my last, I got to say five orders that came back. I'm in PSA 9 purgatory, apparently. Cracked a few of them out that I was certain were 10s and sent them back in. Those are still at PSA. But I think I've got a better eye, and my grading history would tell me that I should get a much higher percentage than what I'm getting right now. For 2026, my PSA 10 percentage is sitting at 23%. That's the lowest it's been in the 20 plus years I've been grading at PSA. For 2025, my PSA 10, I finished 2025 at 51%. That's about what I'm accustomed to, 50 to 60% PSA 10s. So, being in the 20s hurts. Um, Fortunately, with the plays that I recommend to everybody, you don't get hurt much at nines. So I'm still profiting. I'm just not profiting as much as I would have had I gotten a higher percentage tens. Um, but I've also altered my strategy a little bit. I'm not sending in a bulk order every week. I've been going. It's been averaging about every third week. So that slowed down a little bit with the higher costs. And I've been buying and flipping more raw cards and doing well with that. And I've also been buying a lot of cards on Fanatics Collect and trying to do like a 2-month to 3-month flip. And I've done tremendously well this year with baseball. I'm only buying PSA 10s, but I've got some big wins here in the last 2 weeks with some of those cards. And I've still got several Victor Wembanyama cards sitting in my Fanatics Collect that continue to shoot up. I've got 2 Shohei cards that continue to shoot up. So those are sitting on some massive profits there to cash in here relatively soon as well. So you just got to pivot a little bit. If something isn't working, you figure out a way to turn a profit. I've never, in all the years I've done this, I've never not at least tripled my budget from what I started a year at. This year, I don't plan on it being any different. So you gotta pivot sometimes. So Terry asking, holding Wemby for a long time. I bought 3. So last summer I bought 3 Silver Prism Wemby's at about $675, $700 a piece. When his cards jumped up to about $1,700, I sold 2 out of the 3. So, doubled my money on 2 out of the 3, paid for the third one. So that's the way I like to do it is if I can make the money, then I take the one that's free and I put it in my PC. So I've got one that's sitting in my PC that will probably never get sold in my lifetime. My kids can sell it someday when I croak. But I then reinvested and bought back in. I bought 2 more PSA 10s that I bought back in at the $1,500 level. And those are currently sitting, I believe, at about $2,700-$2,800. So I'm about ready to flip those at the beginning of the playoffs here. I think I'm going to wait at least until the second round because I think the Spurs are going to make a deep run. If he makes the NBA Finals, those cards could go up another. They could double even again. You could see $3, $4, $5 for those cards. I'm not going to risk holding them that long. I'm going to flip them probably in the second round, double my money again, and just keep turning that money. I do have a couple of Shohei cards that I bought in the November Thanksgiving. They weren't really dipping much, but I thought, you know what? I want to get a couple of Shohei cards. I've got 5 or 6 10s in my PC that I've got for free, doing my method of buying multiple, flipping, and then keeping the ones that you own for nothing. So I've got 5 Shohei rookie cards that I own for nothing in my PC. But I've talked about that before. My PC is like an unsealable unit. When it goes into my PC, they don't come out. I don't sell anything out of my PC. It's just a long-term collection. Someday my kids will either thank me or hate me for it. I'm not sure. But, like I've said before, I've got over 1 million cards. Most of them are complete sets, but starting to get quite a few graded cards there too. I'm up to about 300 PSA 10s in my personal collection as well. So
Nice.
yeah, so it's just growing. Last year, I just got word from my accountant that my card flipping net profit for 2025 was $37,000. Started the year with 10 grand and I grew it to 37,000. Like every year, I take some of that goes into the PC. Some of it goes towards paying off credit cards and everyday living. And then I started this year again. I took it back down to $10,000. And that's how I start every year. I've got 10,000. That 10,000 is cards, grading fees, and everything. And if I can't grow it, then I'm not doing it right, and I shouldn't have this show trying to teach other people how to make money. But I've never had a year where like I said, I haven't at least tripled it, tripled it. So I anticipate I'll do that again this year. But today we are going to talk some football cards. For those of you that watch the show and follow me, you know that I don't like doing the obvious. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to go out and buy some Patrick Mahomes cards or Tom Brady cards, although I do have 2 Tom Brady's and a Patrick Mahomes card in the 15 plays I'm going to do today. None of them are rookie cards. So there are rookie cards in my 15 plays, but they're not for those 2 guys. I like to find cards that you can go out, buy, not have to worry about the timing of it too much, which the timing right now is good, which is why we're doing football with the 3-4 month turnaround times, and that you can profit without having to go race everybody else to get the hottest and latest and greatest things. So the plays that we're going to talk about today are going to be 15 plays that are not so obvious. Before we get into the plays, you had did some photos of the first ever soccer match or something, right?
Yeah. Well, I should have got some photos to share, but they're not up right now. I mean, I should have got them. But at Razorback Stadium, they had the first ever. It was a doubleheader with 2 professional Mexican teams, one from Monterrey, one from Mexico City, and those are the 2 most successful teams in Mexico. So last Saturday, I photographed the girls' game at 2:00, and then there's an hour break, and then the men played at 5, and it was absolutely incredible. I even saw a video with this British guy saying he always thought the Premier League had the best atmosphere for soccer in the world. But man, the Mexican crowd was loud and fun and partying. They had drums and flags and chanting songs, and I absolutely loved it. I'm thinking that Panini's missing the boat, that they ought to be releasing some of these Liga Mexico cards, because these guys are like total heroes down south. I think they make some stickers, but I think that now that they're losing everything, that might be something that they should go after.
Yeah, today is the day. Panini is no longer with football, baseball, or basketball. So
yeah,
today enters the Panini era of WNBA and non-licensed of the 3 major sports.
Yeah. I mean, they took over the NWSL.
Yeah.
Their first batch of cards that they put up were really expensive, and you didn't get much. And I have a feeling I'm a big NWSL fan, and the people on the Facebook message boards are pretty upset about it, because they seem to really like Parkside a lot, and they were affordable and cool. I'll go ahead and talk about it now, but I have found that some of our people that say never rip wax, right? They think it's the terrible thing to do. But I've been buying the 2021 Parkside Volume 1. It's the first set they put out for NWSL. You can get those boxes for cheap, like 15, 20 bucks a box. Okay. I've bought a bunch of them. I mean, and I've been ripping everything. And I'm getting multiple Trinity Rodman rookies. The normal ones are going for about 250 bucks a pop, PSA 10, and they got a high gem rate, especially if you're taking it right out of the pack and putting it into the penny sleeve, and then I'm even pulling the black and white ones, which I haven't seen a PSA 10 sell, but it's supposed to be double or triple the base. I get the Sophia Smith black and white one. I got a bunch of the Sophia Smith, the regular ones. But I kind of learned my lesson. The last time I sent 2 Trinities in a PSA order, I got 1, 9, 1, 10. And I think from now on, I just put 1 only, so they're not going to, I think that sometimes their population, but the autographs out of it, I haven't, if you get the Trinity Rodman or the Sophia Smith, it's like a $800 card, either one of them. I hit Rocky Rodriguez, and she played for the U.S. women's national team for a little bit. I hit that, and then I hit these autos, and I don't even know who these girls are. But I feel like I am hitting – we'll know after I start getting grades back, but I think that for buying wax, it might be the best buy in America right now, is that those little boxes of the 2021 Parkside Volume 1. There's a Volume 2 also, but those don't typically go for as much money as the first set with the first cards of Rodman and Smith. She's now Sophia Wilson because she's married to the wide receiver of the Arizona Cardinals, Michael Wilson or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Sophia Smith in the new cards, it'll say Sophia Wilson.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I bought $500 for 40 boxes. And so it comes out to about $14 a box, I believe. And I hit a lot of stuff. So I'm going to get these grading out, and I'm thinking that I'm going to profit big. Especially if most of these hit as 10s, but
so are those hanger boxes that you're buying, or
that's the only thing that's available now.
Yeah, is the hanger boxes?
Yeah, the hobby boxes are impossible to find. I think that they've made just a handful of them in 2021, and they're all bought and opened, or they're sealed, sticking up in the closet somewhere. But now we've got NWSL on national TV every Sunday. The World Cup for the women next year. And I just think that this stuff is going to start really – I mean, it's already – especially Rodman, she's like the American female hero of soccer. And with the famous daddy too, So yeah. I just think that stuff's just going to keep going up.
Terry was asking what box was that. So it's to clarify, it's the 2021 Parkside NWSL
Volume 1.
Volume 1 hanger box.
Yeah.
So that is what they are. I just did a quick search on eBay, and there is Volume 2 for $500. There's 50 boxes. There's Volume 1. There's 40 boxes for $500. Or there is one guy that's got 10 boxes for $150, which is about $15 a box as well. But that's all there is on eBay right now. So we'll find out how popular our show is if those all disappear by the end of the day. So.
I almost wanted to keep quiet about it because I'm planning on – I'd like to keep doing this until I hit the Rodman auto or the Sophia Smith auto. But I PC the soccer girls autos, and that Rodman auto would be like the number one card that I want.
Nice. All right. Well, let's get into some plays here. That was a good tip for anybody that likes soccer cards, women's soccer especially. Let's get into some plays here.
Right on.
So these are going to be football plays. These are not going to be obvious football plays, but we will start here. And so the first card up is going to be a 2020 Tom Brady. It's the orange laser. It's first year in the Bucs uniform, so the orange is a bit of a color match. It's only $8.68. $8.84 is the 30-day average. Only 2 have sold, but if I had to go rip a box and like try and get my money back, 2020 anything for football would be what I would go. That 2020 class is just loaded, and then you've got cards like this of Brady and Mahomes and other players that are non-rookie cards. 2020 was just a great product. But anyways, so $8.68 is the most recent sale. You add your $25 in grading. So you're going to have, with shipping, call it $40. PSA 9 sells for $50. So you're going to make a small profit on a PSA 9. And on a PSA 10, it's $200. So a nice little 4x your investment. Does have a 38% gem rate. It's only a pop 134, so it's not a real high pop. But that's a card that I don't anticipate Tom Brady cards going down. So that is a nice non-time sensitive way to, 3 or 4x your money. If you could get I would imagine that you could go to a card show with somebody that you could find some 2020 Prisms. You could probably find a handful of those cards instead of onesies, twosies here on eBay. But that's the first one up. All right, next one up will be, we're going to do CeeDee Lamb. This is a rookie card. This is the red, white, and blue 2020 Prism. So again, staying with 2020 Prism. $10 is all this card sells for in raw. The 30-day average is $13. 7 sales in the last 30 days. PSA 9 is $45. So you're going to, at very worst, break even on a PSA 9. PSA 10 is $103. So you're going to do a little better than doubling up of your money. It's a pop 233, and it's got a 29% gem rate. So it's a fun little card that, the red, white, and blues are not as popular, but they're liquid enough that when CeeDee Lamb goes off, they do sell well.
He's consistently a top 5 receiver pretty much every year.
Yeah. So it's there again. These are the types of plays that I like because you just don't have to worry about performance or timing. They're just cards that you can buy great and make some money on. We're going to jump to 2023 Prism for this next one. Can't have a football card guide without talking a little JSN. He made a huge leap in football prices last year. His prices have dipped quite a bit since the Super Bowl. So now is the time to hop back in if you're a JSN believer. I picked out this card for a couple of different reasons, but it's a rookie card that $13.50 is the most recent raw sale. $17 is the 30-day average, 18 sales, so it's pretty easy to come by. $61 in a PSA 9, so you're turning a profit, a small profit, but a profit on a PSA 9. And on a PSA 10, it's $135. So you're going to do a little better than triple your money. Pop 170 with a gem rate of 57.8%. So 58% gem rate on a card that only has a pop of 170. And these neon green pulsars sell very, very, very well. All right. Next card up is a fun card because it's not of a player. This is, I was talking to Bo before the show. I ran across this card, started to do a little research, and the more I researched it, the more I liked it. So I picked out the red, white, and blue prism as the parallel that I liked the best from a money-making standpoint. It is the 2014 Prism Legion of Boom Seahawks card. For those that are Seahawks fans, of course, they'll know what the Legion of Boom is. But this is the red, white, and blue parallel. It's $35 is the most recent sale. $40 is the 60-day average. I had to go out 60 days to find 5 cards to get a nice average. So it's coming down a little bit from 35, from 40 being the average. But this card is a fun card because it's not based on performance. It's almost like a retired player type card in the sense that it was a team. It was a Legion of Boom. It was the whole backfield of defensive backfield of the Seahawks. A PSA 9, $120.
Oh,
So
wow.
you're going to triple your money on a PSA 9, and a PSA 10 is $200. So a nice 4, maybe 5xing of your money on a PSA 10. It's only a pop 26 with the red, white, and blue, but it does have a 51% gem rate. So something different and fun and unique, and nobody is thinking of this card, so there's not a lot of competition to go out and buy the card. These are the types of plays that I like recommending and making because they're fun and unique. We're going to do a Tom Brady card next. We are going to go to, this is the second of my 2 Tom Brady's. This is a 2018. The first one was the 2020 color match. So this goes back to his Patriots uniform. It's a 2018. It's the red, white, and blue prism. $30 is the most recent sale. $49 is the 30-day average. So as you can see on the graph, the card has been coming down. It is down, it's down 55% in the last 30 days. A PSA 9 sells for $90. So you're going to have a nice little profit on a PSA 9. PSA 10 is a pop 91. PSA 10 sells for $195. So again, a nice 4x plussing of your income. And it's got a 32.4% gem rate. So a pretty good gem rate on a card that shouldn't be too hard to come by. Next, we are going to do, I can't do the list without having at least one Patty Mahomes card. However, this is not a rookie card. We're going back to the 2020 Prism set that I love so much. This is 2020 Prism. It's the red ice, so it's a color match, which is key here. A nice color match. Mahomes, $30 is the most recent sale. The 30-day average is $42. As you can see from this chart, there was one that jumped all the way up to $60, but most of them are in that $30 to $45 range. $90 is a PSA 9. So even if you had to pay $50 or $60, you can still break even on a PSA 9, or if you can get one in that $30 to $40 range, you're going to have a small profit on a PSA 9. PSA 10 is $140. So again, it's about a 3xing of your investment. It's a pop 151, and it's got almost a 31% gem rate. It's 30.7%. So a nice little color match Patrick Mahomes. Fun card to grade. Next up, we are going to go to a card. I couldn't do this without having a couple of the modern day cards. These are a little bit more risky because they're still relatively new in the market. However, this is a 2025 Prism. It's the Laser Parallel. It's Tyler Shug. $11.62 is the most recent sale. The 30-day average is $14. Because it's a recent release, lots of this product. 90 sales in the last 30 days. Tons and tons of this card to pick from on eBay. So pick a good looking, well-centered one if you're going to make this play. $38 is the most recent PSA 9 sale. So you spend $12, you end up with $38. You're going to lose about $5 to $7 on a PSA 9. So that's where the risk comes in. PSA 10, only a pop 6 at this point. So it is $161, but as that pop climbs, this card will come down a little bit in value. But right now, the reason I put it on here is because as you get near the beginning of the season, when these cards are going to come back in midsummer, he's going to have a lot of hype, especially if they get him a couple of nice draft choices or a free agent wide receiver. There's going to be a lot of excitement around this New Orleans team coming into this next season. So he is a player that I like to go after. All right.
Did you see a gem rate on that one?
What's that?
Did you see a gem rate on that one?
Oh, I'm sorry. The gem rate on Tyler Shug is 46%. Okay. Only 13 cards have been submitted to PSA in the Laser. 6 out of the 13 were PSA 10s.
Okay.
So not a lot of pop there for him yet, but you should be safe long as you get rid of them at the start of the season or preseason. Next up, one of the best defensive players in the NFL, 2017. Yes, you can make profits on offensive linemen and defensive players if you get the right cards. And this is the right card. It is his Silver Prism rookie card. It's 2017. $35 is the most recent sale. 10 sales in the last 30 days. $31 is the 30-day average. So they've been hovering right in that $30 to $35 range for a little better than 30 days now. It's a card that's not that difficult to come by. PSA 9 is $79. So you are looking at the very worst case scenario breaking even. You might turn a $5 profit depending upon your fee structure. And a PSA 10 is $143. So again, a nice little double up of your investment. 50.6% gem rate, so over 50%. It is a pop 670. But TJ Watt sells very, very well. It's a very liquid card, even though it's a defensive player.
That's a high gem rate for an older card, too.
Yeah, good gem rate for an older card. That 2016 and 2017 Prism had very good gem rates. Quality control back then was very, very good. The 16 and 17 Prism sets are awesome sets to buy and grade from. So on that note, here's a 16. Jared Goff. So for those that didn't know, in 2016, the Silver Prism is the base Prism. They didn't have a non-Silver Prism, just so everybody is aware. So 2016 Prism Silver base rookie Jared Goff, $26 is the most recent sale. $28 is the 30-day average. So they hover in that $20 to $30 range pretty much all the time. $50 is a PSA 9. So you're looking at approximately a break even on a PSA 9, but $136 on a PSA 10. And again, I believe there's going to be a fair amount of hype around the Lions again going into this season. They seem to really figure things out at the end of last year. So if they can build on that momentum, you could see the Lions off to a very hot start this year. Jared Goff's card market is still very strong. Next up, we are going to do a Cam Ward card. I am not endorsing Cam Ward as a quarterback. Just so everybody is clear, I am not a Cam Ward fan. I didn't like Cam Ward coming out of college. I did not think Cam Ward was worthy of the number 1 overall pick. And I think his performance last year was what I anticipated. That said, Tennessee's making a lot of moves in the offseason. Cam Ward, if his cards are going to have value, they're going to have value up until the preseason. There could be a lot of hype around them just because of all the changes that they're making. We'll find out in year 2 if he has a Bryce Young type, rookie season going into a sophomore season, or if he is going to struggle again in year 2. But it's irrelevant. The play is what we're talking about. The play is his orange ice prism. $32 currently is where this card most recently sold. It's got a $49 30-day average. So it has dropped quite a bit with each of the last 2 transactions. So this card seems to be on the way down, which is good when you're trying to buy into grade. So try and target this card as close to $30 to $35 as you can. It would not surprise me at all if in the next week to 2 weeks, it drops to $25 a card before it starts to climb. So if you want to wait, you can. But $80 is the current PSA 9. So you are turning a profit on a PSA 9 Cam Ward card. And in addition to that, it's $400 in a PSA 10, which to me is insane. Wow. Huge multiplier. Again, a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's the number 1 overall pick. And there's some hype behind him. I do think that number is going to come down because there are only 12 of them right now. It's a pop 4. The funny thing is that if you go and you look, you can find the cert number. All 4 of the pop 4, all 4 have sold in the last 60 days. So the people that are buying these and grading these are not keeping them. But even if that card drops 25% and it goes from 400 to 300, when you've got $60 invested in a raw card, you get a PSA 10, you're still making a very handsome profit at 5X. So that is why that card made the list today. Is there's a lot of runway there for that card to turn a profit for you.
Do you have a gem rate of that on that one?
I'm sorry. Did I miss the gem rate again? Yes.
I don't think so.
The gem rate is 33%.
Okay.
4 out of the 12 submitted have been PSA 10s. 8 of the 12 have been PSA 9s. So it has only gotten, out of 12 cards, it's only gotten 9s and 10s.
Right.
So that card, and when you can turn a $20 profit on a 9,
I feel like this year's Prism is going to grade a little bit better than last year's, which was horrible.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next up, we're back to the green neon pulsar prism card that I like. This is the 2024 of Bo Nix. This is his rookie card. His cards really came crashing down, and now they've kind of steadied back off again. So now is the time to get them before they start to climb again into the spring trainings and off-season stuff where you often see cards climb. $21 is the 30-day average. I'm sorry, $21 is the most recent sale. $19.69. So $20 is the 30-day average. So you're right in that pocket of $20 to $25 to get a nice one of these. 22 sales in the last 30 days. So again, a fairly easy card to come by. However, because it's easy to come by and because it's relatively new, the risk involved is if you get a PSA 9, you lose a little bit of money. You're going to lose almost $15 as the PSA 9 sells for $38. So you're going to risk a $15 loss in a PSA 9. But a PSA 10 is $120. So if you want to participate in a Bo Nix card, this is one that the upside is there. There are 1,400 of these graded, Pop 562, and the gem rate is 40%. So pretty good gem rate for a 2014 Prism. For those that follow my Instagram pickup of the day, this next card I just picked up last night. This is Caleb Williams. This is his 2024 Prism, but it is not his standard Prism. This is the flashback rookies, and it's the silver parallel. I like the look of this card better than his standard Prism card, which is why I chose it. I think the photography on the flashback cards is generally better than the non-flashbacks or their standard Prism cards. And we are getting into a day and age where photography matters. You're hearing more and more people talk about the photography on the card changing the value of the card. So I'm picking what I think is the nicest looking Caleb Williams rookie card, and that is the Flashbacks rookie silver parallel. $31 is the most recent sale. $35 is the 30-day average. So $30 to $35 is where you're going to be on this card. $72 is a PSA 9. So you're looking at a break even on a PSA 9. And $200 is the upside in a PSA 10. So you're looking at almost 4xing your money on a Caleb Williams card with a gem rate of 48%. So a pop of 264, a gem rate of 48%. So I think it's easier to tell the centering on the flashback cards. Just a fan of the flashbacks.
That might be a good one to take to the National in Chicago.
For sure. All right. Next up, Ja'Marr Chase 2021 laser prism. So again, the orange laser color match, Ja'Marr Chase, much like the Joe Burrow is a color match that I really like with that orange laser. The Ja'Marr Chase is a pretty card. I do have one of these in my PC currently in a PSA 10. I've made this play in years past, and it's worked out well. I'm going to go back to the well and make it again this year. $21 is the most recent sale. $16 is the 30-day average. So his card here is on the upswing a little bit, but $20 to $25 is where you should be able to buy this card. Again, some risk involved on the 9. It's only $46. So you're going to lose about $10 on a PSA 9. However, it's over a 50% gem rate, and a PSA 10 sells for $120. So almost a triple up of your money. It's got a pop 661. It's a very liquid card. It's got a gem rate of 50.4%. the 2021 Prisms grade pretty well, so you got a real strong shot at a 10 on that card. We talked about Bryce Young earlier. Here is Bryce Young. It's 2023. This is his silver prism. $20 is the most recent sale. $33 is the 30-day average. 25 sales in the last 30 days. It's almost one a day, so it's still a pretty easy card to come by. I think there's upside for Bryce Young coming into the off season or into the spring training. I think you're going to see his cards get a nice little bump up this summer. But right now, PSA 9 is $43. So you're looking at about a $15 loss on a PSA 9, but $175 on a PSA 10. So, 4X of your money, and it's got a 46% gem rate and a pop 1607. I could see this card jumping 20 to 25% between now and the start of the season. So even though your PSA 9 is a small loss now, I think by the time you get those cards back, the PSA 9 might be a break even or even a small profit. All right, last play of the day is going to be Lamar Jackson. This is his red, white, and blue rookie. It's a very affordable, attainable Lamar Jackson rookie card. $95 is the most recent sale. $86 is the 30-day average. Holding pretty steady in that $85 to $100 range. 130 is a PSA 9, so you break even on a PSA 9. But here's the upside in this card: $440 is a PSA 10. So wow. a nice 4x of your money. It's a pop 242. It has a 30% gem rate, which is pretty high for a 2018 product. When you have a 30% chance to make $300 or break even on a 9, that's why that card made the list today. So those are 15 football plays that you can go and make right now. Buy raw to grade, get them back in just enough time for either the national or for the start of the football season. And they are cards that you don't have to go out and, throw elbows at somebody to try and get at a card show or on eBay. You're not going to have a ton of people bidding against you because they're a little bit out of the normal. And that is what makes it fun. Very, very low floor, very high ceiling. That's the way I like to do things. So when you do get the PSA 9s, you don't get hurt, but you really get the nice multipliers on the PSA 10s.
Sounds great.
So that is where we are for this week. We will we'll see you again in 2 weeks. If there's a topic that you'd like us to cover, let me know. Otherwise, we will. I think we might. I'm thinking I might try and cover soccer in 2 weeks with the World Cup coming up. I think that that's also the end of July. So if in 2 weeks we talked about some soccer raw to grade plays, you would still have time to get those in and get them back in time for the World Cup. So
I've noticed my Lamine Yamal stuff, the prices keep going up and up and up. Messi too. Stuff moves quick.
Yeah. It's on my way to me. I got I didn't even know these existed, but it's like a Mojo short print Lamine Yamal. I don't know what it was. I looked it up. It's a pop 3 in PSA 10. There's only 8 have been graded. It's a rare card. My research shows that they only made like about 50 of them, even though they're not serial numbered. I paid $200 raw for it, so I'm hoping it's good when it gets here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thought I'd take a chance on a rare Yamin card. We'll see what happens.
Nice.
All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one. We'll get you with some outgrowing music here.